Hi guys, so this is the interquartile range. Just one thing first, if we have a number of values, so if we just, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of just dashes there like that. So if you're to imagine there's a number there for each of those, so there's 7 values there altogether. So if you're to think about which one is the middle one, so the middle one of 7 values, you should be able to see that it's going to be 4, but it's going to be this one here. So whatever value is there would be the middle one, because you can see there's 3 then on each side of it. So that has to be the one that's in the middle. But this is just a quick way if you read this here. So add 1 to the total and divide by 2, I should say. So if you add 1 to the total, so because there's 7 values there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I do 7 plus 1, that's 8. And then if I divide it by 2, that's 4. So the fourth value, and I know then that the 1, 2, 3, the fourth value would be the middle one, like we just saw. Now I know that sounds obvious, but it's just for when you've got a really big list of numbers. So just say you had 50 numbers there, or I don't know, 97 numbers there. So we've only got 7 in that one, but it's a helpful trick for if you want to know for just bigger sets of numbers. So if you just add 1 to the total there was 7, so just add 1 to it and then divide by 2, that finds out which actual value is the middle one, is the median. So it's just because I'm going to reference it down here as well. So interquartile range anyway from a list of numbers. So the lower quartile is the value 1/4 of the way into the data. The upper quartile is the value 3/4 of the way into the data, and then the interquartile range is just the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. So you need to have a bit of an understanding of what median is really before you watch this as well, because it's a lot to do with the median, and you should know that median is the middle value. So let's just have a read the first example anyway. So the test results of 11 students are 60, 35, 28, 90, 77, 72, 45, 85, 56, 80 and 42. First thing I'm going to do anyway is I'm going to put them all in order. So I'm going to pick the smallest one, which I think is 28, and then the next smallest is 35, and then the next we're into the 40s, so 42, 45, next smallest is 56, and then 60, and then 72, 77, and 80, and then there's 85 and 90. So that's just putting all of them in order. So think about what it is as well. So it's test results for 11 students. So one student got 28, another got 35, another got 42, and then the one who got the most, they got 90 in it. So we have to find the interquartile range here anyway. And you know from reading above that the lower quartile is the value that's 1/4 of the way into the data. So 1/4 of the way in has to be in around here somewhere. So we don't really know yet exactly which one it is, but it has to be in there. And then you're going to have to find the upper quartile. So the upper quartile will be in around there somewhere. So obviously it's not going to be 90, but it'll be some of those. So we're going to have a look now. Anyway, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the median. So the median is going to be the middle value. Now if you look here, I've got 11 values, so I've got 11 different test results. So if you use that trick that I showed you before, because there's 11, if I want to find the middle one then of 11, all I have to do is do 11 and add on 1 and then divide it by 2. So 11 plus 1 is 12, and then if I divide that by 2, it's 6. So therefore it's the 6th value. So median is the 6th value. So therefore, well, 28 is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So I can see there 60 is the median. So the median then is 60. I didn't really need to find the median. Well, I did need to find the median in order to find out what lower quartile and upper quartile is. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to find out what the lower quartile is. So we know that it's the value that's 1/4 of the way through. So if you think about what's 1/4 of the way through, it has to be the one that's exactly in the middle of these ones. So it's like it's the median of the first 5, because 60 then was the middle one. So what I need to do is I need to find the median of the first 5 numbers there. So in order to do that, I'm going to do that trick I did again. So I'm going to do, because there's 5 values there and I want the one that's in the middle. Now you might be able to see it here for this one, but what you can do is just do 5 plus 1, which is 6, and then divide that by 2. So that's 3. So it's going to be the third value. So the lower quartile then has to be the third value, which is 42. So lower quartile equals 42. Then I'm going to do the same with to find the upper quartile. So the upper quartile, it says up here, is the value 3/4 of the way into the data. So I want to find the value that's 3/4 in there. So again, there's 5 values there altogether. So because there's 5 values, 5 plus 1 is 6 again, divided by 2 is the third value in. So it's going to be, the third value in has to be this one here. So it's going to be 80. And then for interquartile range, I'll just put in IQR for interquartile range. It's just the upper quartile take away the lower quartile. So 80 take away 42, which is 38. So 38 is my final answer there. That has to be the interquartile range. So here's another question then. So there's, I think there's 9 values here. So if you want to put them in order first, and then find out the median, then find out the lower quartile, find out the upper quartile, and then take them away, and it'll give you the interquartile range. If you want to just try that now, just pause the video and then play it on, and I'll go through the answers. So if I put them in order first anyway, I'm going to get 2, 4, 5. Sorry, it was 2 4s actually. And then next smallest is 10, and then 12, and then 18, 19, and 22. So there's 9 values here. So again, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the median. So because there's 9 values altogether, if I do 9 and just add 1 to it and then divide that by 2, so that's 10 divided by 2 is 5. So the 5th value has to be the median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that 10 there, that has to be the median. So 5 is the median. Sorry, 10 is the median. Now I need to find out the median of the first 4 numbers and then of the last 4 numbers. So I can see here I've actually got 4 different values there. So I've got 2, 4, 4, 5. So again, this is where the trick comes in handy then. In order to find out the middle value, I'm going to take 4, because there's 4 values, and I'm going to add 1 and divide by 2. So 4 plus 1 is 5, divided by 2 is 2.5. So it's the 2.5th value. So the 2.5th value then has to be in the middle of these two. of 4 and 4. So to get the median of those, then you do 4 plus 4 and divide by 2, which you should be able to see is going to be just 4. So 4 is the lower quartile. And then for the upper quartile, it's going to be similar enough again. So it's going to be the 2.5 value in. So 12 will be the first one, 18 will be the second one. So it has to be in between 18 and 19. So you can almost just think what's exactly in between 18 and 19. And you should be able to see it's going to be 18.5. Or you could just do 18 plus 19 and then divide by 2. So that's 18.5. So that's my upper quartile then. So lower quartile, I'll just put there, and then upper quartile. So interquartile range then will be the upper quartile take away the lower quartile. So 18.5 take away 4, which is 14.5. So that's final answer then.